And so this is how we're going to re-enter the consumer market.
They look like giant translucent sour balls. Nice bright colors to reinvent the flailing Macintosh, making it a good deal sexier than the dull gray PC. It's not bad technology-wise either. No tower, no disk drive, an internal modem, a user-friendly interface, even for kids, with everything packed into the monitor. And on top of that, at a sales price of $1,300, people can now afford it. It's called the iMac.
Because we want to be the computer company that makes the best and coolest computers in the world for you.
Steve Jobs, the prodigal son, has a triumphant homecoming. His new baby, the iMac, announces the internet era, and Steve's giant sweets sell like hotcakes. Apple is back in the pink. But already Steve Jobs' thoughts are elsewhere. He has incredible foresight, far beyond just computers. Having democratized computing, Apple launches itself boldly onto the entertainment mass market. Music is its new playground. And Jobs brings out a curious little device for listening to it. The date is 23rd of October, 2001.
There it is, right there. It's called iPod. Coolest thing about iPod is that your entire music library fits in your pocket. Never before possible.
After the invention of the Macintosh, this is Apple's second major revolution. The iPod, the tiny digital portable music player, becomes a cult object and a veritable cultural phenomenon. It has changed the way we listen to music.
Hi, so we're doing a piece for French TV on the iPod. I just wanted to ask you what you like about your iPod.
It's easy. I have all my music on it, and I can just take it wherever I want to go.
It's amazing. It's the greatest thing ever.
What do you like about it?
I love everything about it.
The iPod enjoys planetary success and quickly becomes the world's #1 selling portable digital player. Apple has already sold 275 million of them, and along with the iPod comes iTunes, the inseparable application for managing your music, which Steve Jobs sells online. What's more, Apple sets the prices. €9.99 the album, and 99 euro cents the individual song. The music industry is at his feet, as Michel de Souza, former boss of a major record label, reports.
The part we didn't control, for example, was the public sales price. Apple imposed their infamous €9.99 price for albums and 99 cents for individual songs. As we couldn't get organized and come up with a joint offer, Apple imposed its 99-cent price, which has become today's market reference.
In fact, everyone's a winner, because Apple transfers part of its online sales to the record companies. On average, 60 cents per track. Thanks to its catalog, a year after its launch, the iTunes Store is selling 50 million songs, with 500 million the following year and over 10 billion today. And that's not all. Apple has other revolutions in the pipeline. But an unexpected revelation is to profoundly affect the course of events. In June 2004, Steve Jobs announced that he has pancreatic cancer, a serious form of cancer with a very poor prognosis. But Jobs is a fighter and treats every day that follows as another day to live life to the fullest. The following year, in June 2005, Stanford University makes Jobs, the self-taught man, a doctor honoris causa. Jobs addresses a captivated audience, speaking to them about death, but giving them, in fact, a lesson of life.
Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life.
He advises students not to let their lives pass them by and to actively pursue their dreams.
Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Thank you all very much.
It's a precept that Steve Jobs followed all his life. But on June 12, 2005, he knows his days are numbered. And accordingly, his sense of urgency is greater than ever because the master's work is not quite done. In the wake of computers and music came the telephone. On the 9th of January 2007, a bombshell hit the world of mobile phones.
A phone and an internet communicator. This is one device, and we are calling it iPhone.
In a perfectly choreographed show, Steve Jobs, like a messiah of modern times, launches his latest marvel with one ambition in mind: to make it the reference in mobile telephony. And above all, an event with the power to cause a stir. Upon its release, it's hysteria. All over the world, the same lines in front of the stores, with customers brandishing their iPhone like a trophy. The world of cell phones has never seen the likes. Within 3 years, Apple would sell 75 million iPhones. With renewed confidence, Steve Jobs takes the opportunity to revamp an old Apple product, a touchscreen tablet commercialized during his absence, which had been a total flop. At the time, in 1993, the idea may have been a good one, but it hadn't been formulated by the master, and that makes all the difference. 27th of January 2010, Steve Jobs presents his most ambitious creation to date. He's very weak due to his illness, but as excited as a kid with a new toy.
That's what it looks like. Very thin.
Yet for the first time, the specialists are wondering if Steve Jobs hasn't made a mistake. Olivier Frigard watched this presentation live on the web. A journalist specializing in IT, he's followed Apple for a long time, and today, he's skeptical.
For once, Apple was taking a risk. They hadn't been taking any major risks as they were entering already existing markets. They launched the iPod. It was a Walkman. They didn't invent that. And then came the iPhone. This time they were launching an oddity, a touchscreen tablet computer. There were similar products on the market, but lacking the Apple aura, they never really caught on. Apple was taking a real risk of getting it wrong, of making a product that people in fact did not want.
What's more, where does one situate it? It's a hybrid product, halfway between a laptop computer and a mobile phone. No USB port, no DVD player, no webcam. The iPad is disconcerting. But Steve Jobs doesn't doubt, in any case he never does, and as it seems, rightly so, because the iPad is another resounding success. It's also a goldmine for the company, given that apart from its inherent functions, the iPad is a gigantic online store where one can find hundreds of thousands of paid-to-download applications. And, of course, on each purchase, Apple takes its cut. Yet the most impressive thing of all is that thanks to the iPad, we are entering a new IT era.
Without going overboard, we felt that we were experiencing a crucial turning point in IT history. What we were witnessing was perhaps the death of the computer, with a new breed of products accessible to everyone.
With the Mac, the iMac, the iPod, the iPhone, and the iPad, Steve Jobs managed to fulfill part of his dream. He who promised to make the computer as easy to use as a toaster will have at least won his bet: to make IT part of our everyday lives. That had been his reason for living for over 30 years, and in a sense, he did change the world. The story is far from over, but Steve Jobs had to retire from the race. On March 2nd, 2011, he made his last presentation before a very emotional audience. Then on August 24th, worn out from illness, he chose to step aside and to resign as CEO of Apple. Having been confronted with death for so long, he lived each day as if it were the last. And doubtless, that is why his final years at the helm of Apple were so creative. Then, on October 5th, 2011, death finally caught up with him. Apple, one of the richest companies in the world, is now an orphan.
We've got a great hands-on area, and I'd really encourage you, go get your hands on one of these things. You won't believe it. Thank you very much.